Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the pre-event press conference for the final round of the 2021 FIA World Endurance Championship, the 8 Hours of Bahrain. We're going to start today with Neil Jarney from Porsche GT team in the 92 car. Neil, great to see you. Hope you had a few nice days off relaxing after last Saturday's race. Joined this weekend, of course, by Michael Christensen, so 3 drivers in the 92 car. We're starting with the Pro class because it's the closest in terms of the title battle. Lots to look forward to this weekend. Another great win last weekend, 3rd victory of the season, Neil, by quite a margin. We start again, though. What are your feelings for the programs that you're going to be running in free practice and how the weekend's going to pan out in terms of pace this weekend?
Well, I think this weekend the heat obviously is less of an issue. So for us, rear tire degradation was a big thing, especially in the first 4 hours last weekend. Here we think the first 3 hours will be hard, and then it will just get better and better. And in terms of pace, obviously also just getting quicker and quicker. So we do think we'll see quicker lap times this weekend just due to the nature of track temperature.
And in terms of Ferrari's pace, are you expecting that to really come to the surface with the cooler conditions, as you mentioned, particularly tyres, which are crucial over stint lengths during the race?
Well, I guess that's the mystery, you know, what they want to show or what they want to do. I think in the end, it seemed last weekend like they started to struggle with the heat a bit. Also, when I heard from some AM category Ferrari drivers, tires was a bigger issue for them, it seems like. So we do think the pro cars will also find some pace this weekend.
And what was Michael doing last weekend? Was he back at base on a sim, or was he in contact with you, understanding how the car was performing and how things were going in that race before he came here? I guess every little bit of knowledge helps.
I think he was watching Netflix or something at home. You know, he's so experienced on these cars. Nothing to explain to him. Him and Kevin have won the race last year here, the 8 hours. So he's filled in quickly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he followed the race. We'll try some new things here. Obviously, having had the race last weekend, we can give him a bit more driving time this weekend in free practice just to get up to speed. But as I said, he knows what he does.
Obviously the sister car, the number 91 car, not in title contention. Do you see that car and also the 52 Ferrari being equally as interesting in terms of how the race might proceed in the latter stages of Saturday's event?
Definitely. You saw last weekend, the 91 was on our tail all race long. So one mistake, they go by us. In the end, we obviously held also our positions just for the championship, but they have the pace. And this weekend, our main target is just to stay ahead of 51, because that will give us the title in the Drivers' Championship. And then for the Manufacturers' Championship, obviously it gets a bit more complicated, but yeah, all 4 cars will count this weekend, because it's 1 point difference in each, the Manufacturers and Driver Championship, so it'll be interesting.
Lots to relish this weekend. Thanks for joining us, Neil, and good luck for the final round of the season ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're now going to be joined by Sebastian Buemi in the number 8 Toyota Gazoo Racing entry. One Swiss departs, another Swiss enters. Former resident of Bahrain, a country he knows very well. Got some family ties here, so I'm sure you knew all the best restaurants in town, Seb, last week. You never say never in racing, especially in endurance racing, but it seems like a tall order for the championship now for you guys in the number 8. What's your thinking going into this weekend? How are you strategizing things in the number 8 car?
Yeah, I mean, there is not much to think about, really. I think for us, the only opportunity is obviously to focus on pole position and winning the race. then the rest will not be really in our hands. So I think it's quite clear that we will do everything we can. We basically have nothing to lose. So at the end, let's say, even if we were to have a DNF, it's not going to change the face of the world. So we need to go all out and just to all in. I mean, and do the best we can, and that's it. So we will take risk and be aggressive. And if it rewards us, then it's amazing. If not, then we look forward to next year.
Your technical director Pascal Vasselon described last Saturday's race as being a real knife edge for the tyres and the tyre management. Do you see that continuing this weekend, or is a slightly cooler conditions going to help things across the field?
Yeah, I think one of the particularity of the new hypercar cars is that we do struggle with more tyre degradation than we used to have with the LMP1, which was in some places close to zero deg. So clearly, depending on what tracks we go, we suffer more. And clearly here was not an easy one. It's quite well known that in Bahrain we tend to have quite a lot of deg on the rear tires because you have lots of stop and go corners. And then clearly last week we had a day race where it was really, really hot. So if anything, I would say that it's going to be slightly easier in the second part of the race because the temperature is going to cool down. The first part is going to be quite similar because I think the race start is at 2 p.m. and it gets kind of dark around 5:30. So let's say for the first two drivers in the car, I don't expect any big differences, but then it might be a bit easier. We might have to change the tire spec. We need to see. But on top of that, we have, in comparison, slightly more tires for 8-hour race than a 6-hour race. So it should be, from that point of view, potentially a bit easier.
We can't let you go without asking about Kazuki. He announced that he's stepping down and going into new challenges for next year. You started racing with him in 2015. You won a super season, you won 3 Le Mans together. You've had the highs and the lows in endurance racing together. I mean, what are your memories of Kazuki as a teammate, as a friend, and as somebody who's brought so much to Toyota over the years?
Yeah, so I think I first met Kazuki when I was racing Formula 3 in 2006 or something like that. So it's been a really long time ago. Obviously, I've been racing for Toyota since 2012 in endurance, and he was there back in the days with Alex and Nico Lapierre. So let's say we were the only two still, part of the team that have been there since the very beginning of the project. And since 2015, as you said, we've been sharing the car. So we obviously had some bad days, like in Le Mans when he was in the car and we had the issue a lap to the end. But then we won 3 times Le Mans in a row, and we won the super season. So we've had some good and bad races together. He's been a great teammate. I think everyone agrees that he's been one of the best teammates you could hope for, because he's a very calm guy. He always finds a way to make sure everyone's happy with the situation. And I just wished we could have a good end to the season, especially because it's going to be his last one. So hopefully we can do a good job. But he's a great guy, and whatever happens in the future, we'll remain in close contact because we've shared a lot together.
Nice words. Thanks a lot, Seb. Appreciate your time this afternoon. Thanks very much. We're now going to switch over to number 7, Toyota Gazoo racing driver Jose Maria Lopez. Afternoon, Pachito. How are you?
Hello everyone. Good afternoon.
Good to see you. 15 points advantage going into this race. In any normal 6-hour race would be very comfortable, but with 39 points up for grabs this weekend, I guess you're taking absolutely nothing for granted.
Oh yeah, definitely not. It's a long race, hard race. So yeah, we have to keep focused and do our best, basically, Of course, winning the last race here last weekend gave us a little bit more oxygen, a little bit more comfortable situation. But still, looking at the past and looking how endurance racing is, how hard it is, you can't really give anything for granted. And just go and race and do your best.
Should things go your way on Saturday and you are crowned the first ever hypercar champions, what will be more special, having that hypercar status as the first ever, or retaining your title in the WEC, winning back-to-back titles, because that's quite an achievement to do, isn't it, in this type of racing?
Well, I mean, as a driver, as a team member, achieving the team manufacturers championship, it is obviously the main goal. You know, of course, after we know how hard and difficult is always the competition with our sister car, because you have amazing drivers, friends as well, but always the competition is very strong on track. Also, you know, we had competition with Alpine, Greenhouse this year. So yeah, I mean, it would be very nice. I don't really want to think about it, I just want to go on the race. But yeah, it's always nice to win the championship. Of course, last year was a different scenario. We kind of missed Le Mans. We had the World Championship, and this year we had Le Mans. But still, when you get here, it's always a very important thing to achieve. So we really want that. But yeah, we know how hard, you know, it is. So we will go through the race and see what happens.
You've always raced against Kazuki since you joined the team in 2017. As you said, friends off track, but rivals, healthy rivals on it. Thoughts on Kazuki's news that he's standing down, and just generally, as I asked Seb, what he's brought to the team as a whole?
Well, yeah, for sure. It's inevitable to feel a bit sad. He's a friend more than anything. A great driver, but an incredible human being. So respectful, as Seb said. He always finds a way to be so calm. And yeah, it would be strange to don't have him next to us. But yeah, I'm sure he anything that will come in the future will be bright for him. I wish him the best, and yeah, and to enjoy the last race together as well, you know.
Thanks very much, Jose Maria. Appreciate your time. Good luck for the weekend and the finale.
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll be seeing you up here in a few days' time.
Okay,
Many
thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to be joined next by Kazuki Nakajima, teammate of Jose Maria Lopez. We've been talking about Kazuki, now we can talk to him. He was listening on.
Yeah. So masks off. Yeah.
It's a good job everyone was saying nice things about you.
Okay. Thank you.
Kazuki, you'll have answered lots of questions already since your news from earlier in the week that you're stepping down from your driving role at Toyota and pursuing some new challenges within the company. Tell us, first of all, how you came about this decision and a little bit about the incredible chapter of your career that has been Toyota.
Yeah, first of all, many thanks to everyone who had supported me for all of my career, especially Toyota Gazoo Racing, and all of my teammates in here, and you guys as well, and all the fans. So yeah, thanks for all the support. And then yeah, how it come up? Yeah, I have to say, of course, as a race car driver, I wanted to continue racing forever. But especially seeing the WEC, we were facing new era, which is the great time with a lot of competitions coming. So in a way, I was wishing that I could have continued racing. But at the same time, as Toyota Gazoo Racing, we are looking for many changes, and one big task of us is develop the new generation. And in the end, our view was together that it's the right time to make a change now to be ready for the new competition time. So that's basically what happened, and I'm of course sad to leave here as a race car driver, but also I'm looking ahead the future, and I'm sure I'll be around in WEC paddock. I don't know the role yet, but that's my hope. So, yeah.
What do you see specifically as your strengths and your knowledge that you've gained in your career in a new role potentially with the team, or even in other aspects of motorsport? What would you like to achieve?
Yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot in this WEC paddock for the last 10 years, and I've worked with the team, I've worked with the driver. And also myself, I basically grown up from young kid to be, I don't know if I'm mature or not, but mature driver at the moment. So I think, yeah, I can help maybe young drivers to build up the knowledge or the experience, or I don't know. I think there's many things I can help them. So yeah, I don't know the role will be, but I'm happy to be part of this team and to help them all.
And when you look back on what is almost a decade of racing with Toyota, there must be lots of highlights, lots of memories, but is there one that particularly sticks out, a memory or a race or a campaign?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's hard to pick up one moment, and it's the choice, either you pick up the best moment or the worst moment, but I would pick up 16 Le Mans still, which was maybe the worst moment which you can ever imagine. But at the same time, I believe this was a key point for us to build up the stronger team and to be ready for the first win, which happened in 18. And only, regret or what I missed is actually, yeah, Anthony Davidson had an announcement of retirement this week, and it just reminded me at that time, and we somehow, I mean, myself and Seb managed to win the race later, but yeah, I just missed the opportunity to win the race together with Anthony at that time, so it just made me think about this and made me a bit emotional. But yeah, if I pick up one moment, yeah, I would pick up this race, yeah.
I'm sure there are going to be a few more emotional moments on Saturday afternoon when you complete your final stint. Kazuki, thank you very much, and I think on behalf of everyone here in the WEC, it's a big thanks for all the memories and the professionalism over the years. Enjoy your new roles and your new challenges in life. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're now going to speak to our LMP2 category representative from Team WRT, Charles Malaysi. So if we can have Charles to the front of the room, please. Thank you. Hi, Charles.
Hello.
Good to see a great race here last Saturday, securing WRT's second win of the season and moving into the lead of the championship. You're on a hot run right now. Things are coming together nicely, just at the right time as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think last weekend was a really great race for us, especially after the free practice, which were not really easy for us. I think we turned around things quite good during the race, and I think we'll just need to be on the same dynamic for this weekend, and hopefully everything will be going all right.
Your team boss Vincent Vos said that this week that the immediate success in WEC that you've enjoyed was actually quite a surprise. I mean, do you see it that way? You came in as a rookie really into WEC. Personally and from the team, do you share those sentiments?
Yeah, for sure. I think we were in our rookie year for sure. But when you look at how the team is working and the people we have, I think for me it's not really a surprise that we're able, at the end to fight with the best teams out there. But for sure, I think also the regulations changes helped a bit, the team to adapt quite quickly. With the Goodyear tires, the aero changes we had, I think it helped quite a lot. And yet, we try to work quite a lot. And from my point of view, I think WRT for this year was a really good opportunity for me. And I think it was a really good choice. With a Le Mans win for the moment, and we are leading the championship by 5 points. So, like I say, we just need to be on the right dynamic for this race, and everything should be okay.
And looking ahead to this Saturday, 2 extra hours of racing. We saw you win by a reasonable margin last Saturday. Do you think that's going to be the case, or can be possible again? Are you expecting closer things from particularly the Jota guys and Racing Team Netherlands and a host of other cars that are dangerous to you in the championship and the race?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's an 8-hour race. Everything can happen, but I think every team will be working hard, to close the gap, especially Jota. because they are just behind us in the championship, and they will try everything they could to catch us. But I think it will be a close battle straight away from qualifying. But we just need to keep our heads down, and we need to see during the race, making no mistakes. And I think, like I said, we need to be on the right dynamic straight away, and should be everything good.
Any special plans for Sunday?
For Sunday, yeah, I think it will be a really great opportunity for me to test the hypercar from Toyota. I thanks them for this opportunity, and we're looking forward for this. But first, it will be taking some joy racing into this car, and I will try to maximize everything I could. And we need to see on Sunday.
Great stuff, Charles. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks
Looking forward to a great battle in LMP2 on Saturday afternoon. Thank you very much. Thank you. We're now going to speak to Anthony Davidson from the number 38 Jota team. Anthony, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
You had a few days getting sort of retirement style, chilling on the beach, which we've seen on Instagram via Mr. Da Costa.
Oh, have you? Well, I'm not on Instagram, so yeah, he's a dangerous man when it comes to that. I never know what he's putting up.
I can vouch for that, yeah. But obviously the big news is that you're going to be hanging up your helmet after almost a 25-year career in motorsport as a professional. You've had a long endurance career as well. Just talk to us a little bit about the thoughts of making that decision and the new challenges ahead for you.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty easy decision to come to, actually, at 42 years old. It's not the first time that people have retired at that age. And I remember speaking to David Coulthard a long time ago when he retired. And I asked him, how do you know? How do you know when it's time to retire? Because as a young driver back then, you're obsessed with it. You live and breathe racing. And I could never imagine getting to that stage where you didn't want to drive a racing car anymore. And he just looked at me and went, when you know, you'll know. It comes to you. And I think it was probably my last year at Toyota where I started to feel like that. And you kind of start, you question, life gets more complicated the older you get. Family comes along, and you want to spend more time at home. And I'm a family man. I love my time at home with my kids. And you start weighing up all the different options, and you start realizing actually, there is more to life than just motor racing. And at that moment, that's when you realize that, yeah, it is just a sport. It's not your world anymore, completely your world. Everybody's different, but that's honestly how I felt at the time. And on top of that, there were other things going on, which I won't go into detail. And I kind of fell out of love with the sport a bit during the end of my Toyota years. It was a fantastic car, fantastic environment, but it just, for reasons I won't go into now, other things at play, which kind of made me, like I say, fall out of love with the sport as a whole. And then I met Roberto and Elton Julian, and the Dragon Speed opportunity came along in LMP2. I weighed up the options and thought long and hard about it, but I felt like I should give it a go to go racing, to enjoy it again. And Roberto, is a gentleman driver, an AM driver. I didn't know much about LMP2, but I saw their racing was always good fun, very close battles. And I wanted to be a part of that and enjoy going racing again, like a lot of the AM drivers do. It's not their main thing in life. It's a hobby for them, and they want to do well at it, don't get me wrong, but they go racing for a different purpose to the likes of myself and the other drivers out there, the pros. And I had the best time again and completely fell back in love with everything that racing has to offer. And so it's thanks to him and Elton to give me that chance, not just to be on the track again, but also to be out there in a lighter headspace, I'd say. I still felt like I was able to operate at my best, I had a pole position in Fuji with Dragon Speed, and second place at Le Mans with Jota, and race wins as well. I really felt like I was able to operate at my best. And that's how I wanted to end. I didn't want to end slipping down gradually as I got older and older. I wanted to end while I still knew I could mix it with the lap times with the younger guys, which there are many of and girls, I should say. Sorry, to the lady car crew out there. Mix it with the best of them. Mix it with the young generation who are half my age. It feels quite bizarre at points, but you see their energy, their enthusiasm, and at the end of it, I just had to be honest with myself and say, I've had a great 3 years since Toyota. 3 years I never imagined I would have, honestly speaking. And I can now leave on my terms how I wanted to end.
Nice. And not many people realise your endurance story stretches right back to Le Mans in 2003, which was the start of a bruising chapter in sports car racing for you on that occasion and subsequently later. Those aside, Anthony, let's talk about the positive memories and experiences. I mean, you've got so many chapters to look at in terms of what you've achieved over the last decade and plus. But anything stand out for you in terms of races or just experiences or anything that might have occurred during championship campaigns?
It's more just the racing's one thing. It's more the emotional roller coaster that a driver goes through in their career. I've been lucky enough. I've been blessed with, lots of good opportunities. But there are always sad times as well, and points where you feel like all hope is lost. End of Super Aguri, for example. What do you do in your 20s? You can't retire in your 20s, surely not. There's nothing else to do. The phone goes silent. You're left alone. You have Christmases coming where you don't know if next year you're going to have a job or not. They're sad, lonely times, and you feel very vulnerable. So it is an emotional roller coaster, but when you get those phone calls eventually that gives you a new lease of life, like Peugeot, for example, in LMP1, wow, it's a really high moment. And we went to Sebring and won the first time out with the team. And I didn't quite appreciate at the time to win the 12 hours of Sebring was a great achievement, let alone your first attempt. And now I know I can look back with experienced eyes, and I can look back and go, wow, that was a good drive, and what a race to win for your first one with Peugeot. So that was a real high moment from a very low point in my career. And then we all know the story about Peugeot and how they folded, and I got my Toyota drive and the opportunity. But then you had the crash at Le Mans, and you're sitting in hospital again after 2003, a familiar place for me, unfortunately. And you're sitting there thinking, will I ever come back? And you see many drivers, they don't. Robert Wickens, to name a few, and it's a very hard headspace to be in for any driver going through recovery. I've been there and done that, and then you do recover, and you get back behind the wheel, and you win races, and then a championship came along in 2014, another massive high after that low of 2012, some beautiful fast cars that I've had, to be blessed to have driven in my time, and they're the good moments that you look back on. And it's funny when you're in it and you're doing it. I always tended to look at the negative side. I don't know about anybody else, but I was always hard on myself, overly critical. I'm a very self-analytical person anyway, and I was overly critical of myself and really focused mainly on the negatives when you're going through it. But now I'm stopping. I can look back at that career I've had, and actually, it's weird. You look back and all you remember are the good times. And I never realised that would be that way. When you're going through it, you don't want to look back. You're only ever looking forward to, when's the next contract coming? When's the next race? What do I have to do? How did you perform at that race? You've got to do better in the next one. And you don't reflect. You don't look back. Now I can look back. It's kind of looking through with rose-tinted glasses. It's a nice feeling, actually. That's great. That's a really nice way to stop there, Anthony. Great insight into your decision and looking back on your career, which I think everybody here, everyone in the WEC organisation, the media,
always appreciated your openness and your interesting takes on racing, and we're going to miss you. So
I'm going to miss you.
First of all, let's hope you have a great send-off on Saturday with yourself and Roberto and Antonio Felix da Costa. And thanks once again, and good luck for Saturday.
Thanks very much.
And for the future.
One final push.
Thanks a lot.